America built something the rest of the world calls unfair. 12 systems so convenient, so deeply wired into daily life that foreigners who visit describe the experience like stepping into a different century, but a future one. And for a while, that felt like pure winning. Here's the part that takes a minute to sit with. The more efficient these 12 things became, the less Americans needed each other. Not as a side effect. That was the design. The lobbying records are public. The regulatory shifts are documented. Here's what they actually show. Number one, massive interstate highways connecting nearly every region. In 1956, Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, and the pitch was national defense. The mechanism was something else entirely. Before the interstate, your grandfather's town had a hardware store, a butcher, a tailor, and a doctor within walking distance. Every dollar he spent stayed inside 3 miles. The highway didn't connect those towns so much as it drained them because it's a lot easier to drive past a small town than to stop in one. General Motors, Standard Oil, and Firestone Rubber spent the 1940s buying up electric streetcar lines across the country and shutting them down, a case that went to federal court in 1949. The 41,000 miles of interstate that followed weren't a coincidence. That's not speculation. The lobbying records are public. Number two, drive-through services for food, banking, pharmacies, and more. In 1947, a place called Red's Giant Hamburg in Springfield, Missouri put a window in a wall so drivers didn't have to get out of their cars. It was a novelty. By 1975, McDonald's had turned it into a system, and by 2000, banks, pharmacies, liquor stores, and funeral homes all had one. There are now more than 200,000 drive-through lanes in the United States. What a drive-through actually does is let you complete a transaction without making eye contact with another person for more than 4 seconds. That's not a side effect. That's the efficiency metric the industry optimizes for: faster throughput, less friction, more volume. Number three, large supermarkets with huge product selection under one roof. Walk into a modern American supermarket and you'll find between 30,000 and 50,000 individual products. The average European grocery store stocks around 8,000. That gap isn't about what people need. It's about what a particular retail format requires to justify its square footage. Your grandmother didn't do one big weekly shop. She bought bread from a baker, meat from a butcher, and vegetables from whoever ran the market stand, and every one of those stops was also a social stop. She knew those people by name, and they knew her family. The Food Marketing Institute's records show the supermarket format got actively pushed through the 1950s and 1960s with federal loan structures that favored large format stores over small specialty shops. Number four, widespread air conditioning in homes, offices, and vehicles. The U.S. Energy Information Administration has tracked this for over a decade. America uses more energy cooling buildings than the entire continent of Africa uses for everything. That's not a climate story. It's a design story. Carrier Corporation and the appliance industry pushed window units through the 1950s and 1960s using retail installment plans, so you could buy your way into cool air a few dollars a month at a time. Before that, your grandfather built his house to breathe with deep eaves, cross ventilation, and a front porch he actually sat on every evening. Number five, nationwide ATM and banking networks. In 1969, Chemical Bank in Rockville Center, New York, put a machine in a wall and called it convenient. Within 20 years, the teller was becoming optional, and that wasn't an accident. The Bank Administration Institute's own studies from the 1970s and 1980s showed that each teller replaced by an ATM meant recurring annual savings for the bank. The machine wasn't a gift to you. It was a cost cut dressed up as a service. Number six, fast package delivery with extensive logistics infrastructure. In 2023, Americans received roughly 165 billion packages. That's about 500 per person, counting every man, woman, and child in the country, and no other nation on earth is close. What that system replaced wasn't just a trip to a store. It replaced the walk to the hardware store, where you found out your neighbor's wife was sick, the stop at the pharmacy where the clerk remembered you'd been in last week. Number 7. Large public parking facilities at stores and shopping centers. America has somewhere between 800 million and 1 billion parking spaces for roughly 290 million registered vehicles. That ratio exists nowhere else on Earth, and it didn't get there by accident. Starting in the 1950s, automobile and highway lobbies got minimum parking requirements written directly into local zoning codes, rules that forced every developer to build a set number of spaces per square foot of retail. Number 8, 24-hour pharmacies, convenience stores, and supermarkets in many areas. CVS alone runs over 9,000 locations, and a good chunk of them never close. No other country built retail pharmacy at this scale or these hours, and the question worth asking is why America needed to. Germany, France, and Japan handle after-hours medical needs through on-call physician networks and public health clinics. Number 9, extensive domestic flight networks between major cities. On a typical day before the pandemic, American carriers flew roughly 45,000 flights, Miami to Seattle in 5 hours, New York to Los Angeles before dinner. No previous generation had that, and it's genuinely useful. But the network wasn't built purely by the market. The Essential Air Service Program, created under the Airline Deregulation Act of 1978, paid airlines hundreds of millions of dollars every year to serve small airports that couldn't survive on ticket revenue alone. Number 10, large retail warehouses and wholesale clubs offering bulk purchasing. Price Club opened in 1976, and what it sold wasn't just bulk goods. It sold the idea that buying more upfront saves money over time, which is true. If you have a car big enough to haul it, a house big enough to store it, and enough cash to front the membership fee plus a 48-pack of anything. Number 11, reliable online shopping with rapid delivery options. Before the grid, your grandfather was the grid. Wood for heat, kerosene for light, a hand pump for water, a root cellar keeping food cold without a single monthly bill, or a corporation in the middle. The Rural Electrification Act of 1936 brought power to farms that private utilities had refused to wire because the profit wasn't there. Number 12, highly developed utility infrastructure. None of these 12 systems are evil. The interstate moves goods. The grid keeps the lights on. The pharmacy fills the prescription. But every one of them replaced something your grandfather did himself or with his neighbors. The zoning codes are public. The lobbying records are public. The regulatory choices that made drive-thrus more profitable than downtowns weren't accidents.